Hey everyone, today we're diving into something that should be easy, but somehow will test every part of you and test every nerve that you have. That's right, it's the Vinted Pro verification process for when you're getting your payments. If you've ever tried to upgrade your Vinted to a Vinted Pro account, or just started with a Vinted Pro account, it will end up leaving you questioning everything in your entire existence. I've gone through the pain so you don't have to. If you're stuck in that verification black hole, that constant loop, or you're just thinking about becoming a Vinted Pro reseller, then this video is probably for you. I'll try to keep it short, to the point, but I'll tell you a little bit about sort of what happened, how I got on with it. So if you're selling regularly, you're doing well, and you think, hey, let's do it official, let's go pro, or Vinted prompt you to go pro, then that's absolutely fine. The process for actually setting it up is relatively simple, but they do want everything. They want your ID, they want your business registration, they want your address, they want all of your tax information, and you can upload those documents as long as they're clear pictures. You shouldn't have a problem with setting it up. Although some of the questions they do ask, you might get a little bit stuck on, but the information you can provide to them. It's not too much of an ordeal in doing that part of the process. So you get verified with your pro account, you start selling, it wasn't that bad, actually you've been able to do it. Then you get a message from Vinted to say, actually we want you to verify so you can withdraw the money that you've earned on them. And that's kind of where it all goes wrong. They'll ask for something like your driving license, passport, relatively simple, straightforward information, and it's easy to take those pictures as well. So for myself, did my driving license, took a couple of pictures, front and back, nice and easy. Thought, it's not too bad, this is going well. Then that's when I started having trouble. They want sort of evidence of your registration for self-assessment or your business registration, and they want a letter dated sort of within the last 3 months. For me personally, didn't have a letter for the last 3 months because I'd registered for self-assessment a number of years ago. So tried calling, couldn't get through, gave up on that idea, thinking there's got to be another way. So I turned to YouTube, watched a couple of videos, people having similar issues, and every time you just get some documents from your online portal for your self-assessment account, and I thought, I'm winning here, let's do this. So that's what I did. I went on and got the letters that they told me to get. So once I've got all the documents that I needed, submitted them through onto Vinted. It says it can take up to 24 to 48 hours, I think it is. But it's not too bad, it won't be long and I'll be able to withdraw my money. But I got met with a message from Vinted saying your details do not match. And at that point I was a little bit confused because I thought, do you know what? I set this account up, it's all my details. I'm not a business, I set up as a sole trader, so I shouldn't have had an issue with that, but it got rejected. So following that, I did try another 12 times, changing the documents, getting them different formats, constantly being rejected. So at that point, I kind of thought, what do they want? My birth certificate, a blood sample, a handwritten note from the king. I was at a complete loss of what they wanted, and nothing made sense. Nothing would satisfy Vinted sort of robots to do these verification checks. Bearing in mind with 12 attempts at it, taking about 24 hours on average for each one to come back, it was 12 days there. I'd wasted the best part of 2 weeks. So I did what any normal person would do, and I went and contacted this Vinted customer support. They come back within a couple of days. They said they've looked into it, they've amended the legal representative on my profile, and it should work. And I thought to myself, well, hang on, I set this up, it's me and my details I put down, so I couldn't work out what they were on about. But I thought, hey ho, let's just get on with it, because I just want to get my money out of Vinted at this point. So we resubmitted it. Surprise, surprise, came back rejected, please resubmit. And look, I get Vinted needs to verify sort of the businesses properly, and that's fair, if I'm honest. But when legitimate sellers can't verify because this system rejects perfectly valid documents, that's not security, it's just a broken system and a broken process really. So if you've been stuck in the Vinted Pro verification sort of process, the hell that it is, drop a comment, let me know so what you've gone through. But let's get into sort of how I actually got verified, and maybe it's a bit my fault, but mainly it's Vinted's fault. The documents that you need to use, if you haven't got a letter confirming your registration for self-assessment, is something called an SA302. You can get it through the HMRC portal. So that's if you've already set up for self-assessment. But what you need to do when you download it, it'll download in a HTML format, which I didn't pick up on, hence why partly my fault. So I was submitting these through and it kept getting rejected. But what you need to do is convert that into a PDF document. So what you'll do is go onto the self-assessment app, download the document. It'll come up in a HTML format, just format it so it's in a PDF. If Vinted had told me that that was the issue, then I could have corrected it and got it, my issue resolved a lot sooner. But what they didn't do is tell me that, but they decided to tell me the documents didn't match. So they didn't help me at all. I had to kind of help myself, and the YouTube videos I watched, they told you about the documents, but they didn't necessarily tell me about the formatting. So hopefully if you've been stuck in that process or thinking about going on and doing it, that'll help you out. Hopefully Vinted can get their process sorted. So Vinted, if you're watching, just fix your process or make it more robust so people don't get stuck in those endless loops. So this is my first video of this channel. I am going to be posting on a regular basis, and I'm looking to get you guys involved in sort of my reselling business that I only started a month or so ago. So if there's anything you want to see or any questions you've got, get in the comments and let me know.